glitter and gold as I walk by. Is it a daydream that you see neath my curtain, bejeweled here only in your dreams?
Right folks, welcome back to the channel. So here we are at Trent View in the cabin swim. So I've got 48 hours ahead of me in the cabin. Conditions are a lot better than they were at the weekend. So the weekend it was super cold, but today it's warmed up a bit. It's about 14-15 degrees. We've got a nice southerly wind blowing into the peg, so fingers crossed. The only downside is it's mega busy. I'd say 80% of the pegs are taken on a Monday, which is not used to that. So it has been fishing pretty hard. There's not been a load of fish come out over the weekend. Speaking to one of the bailiffs, he's been on since Friday and had 3. So I guess we're probably realistically fishing for a bite. So I say we, because a friend of mine, Dan, is coming to fish with me. Used to go to school with Dan. We try and catch up about once a year. So he said we'd come down to Trent View. His PB's £16, so if we get a bite, in reality, that should smash his PB. So fingers crossed we get a bite. Yeah, so this is what we're doing. So I'll just step inside out of the wind. So here is the cabin peg. So it's pretty deep. So in front of us it shelves off pretty quickly down to about 25 feet, almost 30 feet in places, and then about 90 yards out it starts to shelve up again to sort of 18 or 19 feet. So what we're going to end up with is my middle rod here is we've put quite a lot of bait out on this spot here over a gravel bar. So I put about 3 or 4 kilos of boilies and lake pellets in there. So my left hand rod will go on the spot, and then Dan's right hand rod will go over the same spot. So we're really committing to a pile of bait out there. My middle rod, I've literally just thrown that as far as I can in the direction of the white van over here. So that's actually 11 wraps. But as far as I can feed boilies with a catapult is what that is. So I've fed a scattering of the SC bait spicy fish over the top of that middle rod, and I'm just fishing a little wafter over that, so just a little bit of a different baiting approach. And then on my right hand rod I've just chucked a solid bag down here into about 8 or 9 feet, and then once we get Dan set up we'll get his left hand rod similarly with a solid bag down here somewhere in sort of 9 or 10 feet. So we've got a bit of a plan. We've got 48 hours. Hopefully this change in wind direction will stir the fish up a little bit. There are some massive fish in here, so the biggest fish goes 45 pound. And I guess at this time of year it's probably approaching its record weight, so I mean that'd be incredible. But there are loads of 30s in here. I think there's over 80 30-pound carp, and the majority and the average size of fish is over 20, so by no means a run's water, but if we do get some fish then they could be pretty epic, so fingers crossed. So here we are, Trent View, Monday evening, 7 o'clock, a little bit windy as you can hear, as you can see, a bit windier down that end of the lake, but I'm pretty happy with this actually. The wind's blowing into this bank and hopefully the fish are going to follow it. So yeah, 7 o'clock, another hour before it gets dark or so. Dan's joined us and he's cooking up a storm at the barbecue. Right folks, so we've got the main man Dan who's joined us with his full-on gas barbecue. If you're in any doubt of how to cook food on the bank, this is the way to do it. So full-on barbecue, look at that. And look at that for some food. Unbelievable. Beautiful. Cheers Dan, looks amazing my man, thank you.
Pleasure.
Are we going to catch a fish?
We're going to have a go.
And what's your PB at the minute?
16.5.
So hopefully one bite here gets us pretty much a guaranteed PB.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Well thanks for cooking mate, looks amazing. Look at this for a small gas barbecue. Full on gas tank. This is the way to do it. Michelin star Bankside cooking with Dan. Right folks, good morning. It's Tuesday, about 11 o'clock. Just nicely got the rods back out and redone, so no action overnight. It's been pretty quiet. Seen one fish caught over the other side early doors this morning about 7 o'clock, but other than that we've not seen any action at all. So Little bit of a strange one. The wind's pretty mild, and as you can see, sort of hacking into this bank, and conditions are pretty good. We've seen a few fish, a little bit more to the right of the peg, but yeah, a little bit confusing. So we're still going. Like I say, we've refreshed the rig, so we've got 2 solid bags, both sides in the margin. Fishing the spot at 21 wraps. We put plenty of bait out there. It was apparently an old road on the gravel pit, so pretty clear hump in the lake bed. And then my middle rod, I've just got 11 wraps where I can catapult some boilies. So 3 different options. Yeah, we'll keep at it. Fingers crossed. Right folks, it's midday, still no action, so we're just going to have a bit of a tactical change. So on my middle rod, we're going to put a zig out on that. We're going to use the boat to try and get it at halfway. So we've seen some fish showing about halfway or maybe slightly further across. So we're going to take a zig out on the boat, all sort of stuck down, so hopefully we can get it out tangle free. We'll give that a whirl, bit of a change in tactics. All right. Right folks, here we are. So it's Tuesday afternoon, it's about 4 o'clock, no action on the rods. There is the odd fish coming out. There's been a 24 pounder, 6 or 7 pegs down, and we've also seen a fish get caught across. So there's the odd fish having a munch. We've just got to hope that they make their way over to us in the next 16 or 17 hours. So we've got plenty of bait. We're confident that the traps are set. We just need a little bit of luck in the next phase. Right folks, I've been asked by one of the subscribers how I tie the German rig, or that coated braid rig that I use. So I'm just going to do a bit of a tutorial, just showing you exactly how I do that. So ordinarily I would use this. I'd use 25 dark matter. Right, so German rig. So you take one end of your hook length material. You're just going to tie a really simple overhand loop. Pull that down, and you're just going to give that tag end a trim. So at this point you may want to put your hook bait on. So you could put your boilie on there so you get the exact distance from the hook that you require. But we're not going to do that for the purpose of the video. So take your hook, and you want to put the opposite end, so not the loop end, the loose end. You're going to put that through the back of the hook. Okay, so really simply you're going from the back of the hook to the front. Okay, then you're going to pull on that cord until you get the tag end, the loop end, the right distance away from the back of the hook. Okay, so that'd probably be about right if that was the right size hook and line. And then you trap the loop in place, so you can see there, and then you simply turn this tag end, the longer end, around the hook 7 or 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I generally try and finish it in line with the point. So on that one I'd probably give it an 1/8 because it's quite a long shank, and then I pin those loops with my right hand, and then what we're looking to do is and then the last time we come round we put that back through the eye of the hook from the back to the front. Okay, pull that through. At that point I moisten it before pulling that down tight. Effectively that is your knotless knot or German rig. So then you'd slide down either a piece of shrink tube or a kicker to get the angle in the line. But really, this tutorial is about tying that knot. So small loop on the end, pull that through to the back of the hook, round the shank 6 or 7 or 8 times until you get roughly in line with the point, and then the long end of the hook length material goes back through the hook, back to front. Right, so to finish the rig off, you've got the hook on one side, you need a loop on the other side to allow you to attach that to your main line, or your connector. So we're going to tie a figure of 8 loop, so line double back on itself like so. You just create a single loop like that, and then you're going to grab the end of that and twist it over. So you've created a little figure of 8 in your hand, and then this tag end here you're going to pull back up through that second loop you've just created. So I find a little tool is helpful to do that. So I've just got a little, don't know what this is, I think it's actually a broken baiting needle. That just allows me to feed that back through. But now you should see that that's formed a figure of 8. So again, you're just going to moisten that and you're going to pull that down. Trim off the tag end, leave a little bit, leave a few millimetres for any slippage during playing a fish, and there you've got a nice loop on one end, and then you've got a nicely tied knotless knot there ready to accept your hook bait. So I think probably the easiest rig to tie of them all. Super strong, super simple, and it's never let me down, so definitely one for the armoury.
All the glitter and gold as I walk by, is it a daydream that you see neath my curtain, bejeweled here only in your dreams? Oh, is it love? Oh, is it real? I got you right where I want you. Chain on my wrist, you dangling. I got you right where I want you. So let the beat drop.
Right folks, good morning. Wednesday morning, about 7 o'clock. Proper carpy morning, proper murky, fairly mild and dead still. Sadly no action overnight. Dan was up about 5 to get off and go to work, so left me with the slow pack up. So we've got to be off by 9:30, so I'm going to slowly get packed away, and fingers crossed for a bite in the sort of last couple of hours. But I think we've had our chance. I think majority of the fish at 5 AM, any shows were kind of far down that end of the lake in the shallower water. So I think coming to the cabin peg, you book it well in advance. You're kind of stuck with the location on the lake really. So we were up against it from a location perspective, but we've had a laugh, we've had a good catch up. We're not seeing each other for a good while. Just sadly we didn't put a fish on the bank, but hey, that's fishing. We're giving it our best. I think we've not done anything wrong from a tactics and a bait perspective. Just the feeding fish have been down the bottom end of the lake. So yeah, that's fishing. So until next time, tight lines.
All the glitter and gold as I walk by, is it a daydream that you see neath my curtain, bejeweled